In our house, there's no such thing as a bad banana. There's only good bananas, because a bad banana is still good to make banana bread. I'm going to show you today how to make my sour cream banana bread. It's the sour cream that makes it so moist. And you can add chocolate chips and walnuts to boost the flavor and the texture, but the sour cream is the key. But yes, I'm going to turn this camera around, show you how to make it. And it is easy, and I'm sure you have most of the ingredients on hand. Maybe you have to get some sour cream because you really do need the sour cream. But let me show you how to make it. Hi everyone, I'm Vicki with Thrifty Recipes. Welcome to my channel. As I said, we're going to make my sour cream banana bread. I get rave reviews on it. It's easy to make, and I'm going to show you how. Let's get started. You'll find the ingredient list for this recipe down in the description below the video. But as we go through, I will show you step by step the ingredients that you'll need and how to make the banana bread. You'll need a large bowl and some ripe bananas. Now I had 2 very small ripe bananas, but 1 large ripe banana will be fine. You know, the speckled bananas, the ones that are a little too ripe to eat like they are. So let's get these bananas sliced up, cut up, however you want to do it, and into a large bowl they go. And you can smash them with a fork, or you can use an electric mixer. I just have 1 beater in my mixer. I don't know if you know you can do that, but you can use only 1 beater at a time. Basically, just blend the bananas up until it's a puree. We're adding 2 eggs, and I'm just using large eggs. You can do this with a utensil or with a mixer. I just think it's easier with a mixer. But if you don't have one, that's okay. Just stir it up. Next, we're adding 1/2 cup of sour cream, and do be careful when you're buying sour cream. Some of it's not really real sour cream. Some of it has some really strange ingredients in it, so make sure you get real sour cream. Take a look at the ingredients. And blend everything well. Let's talk about the butter. It needs to be room temperature and very soft. You can use salted or unsalted. And typically, you know, we would cream the butter and the sugar together and then add it to the rest of our ingredients. And that's fine if you'd like to do that. But I've had no problems with just mixing everything together for this recipe. It's really your choice. And add 1 cup of sugar, just regular white sugar. Blend everything very well. You want to make sure the butter and the sugar is incorporated into everything else. This may take a few minutes. And scrape down the sides of your bowl as needed to get everything blended well. Let's add some vanilla. It takes only 1 teaspoon. Alright, let's set the wet ingredients to the side and start working on the dry ingredients. In a medium-sized bowl, you'll need 1 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. Add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Make sure it's baking soda. That's what you'll need for this recipe. And 1 teaspoon of salt. Using a spatula, just blend all the dry ingredients together until they're well blended. Now let's take a minute and preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Alright, it's time to get those dry ingredients added to the wet ingredients, and we're going to do it in 3 small batches. You don't have to measure, we're just going to eye it, but 3 small batches. In goes 1/3 of the dry ingredients. And make sure you blend everything together well. And you know the flour is going to go flying with your electric mixer, but that's okay. That's what baking is all about. Sometimes we make a mess. It's all good. Scrape down the sides of the bowl as needed. And let's add some more of the dry ingredients. Repeat the process, blend everything again until it's well mixed, well blended. And then add the remaining dry ingredients and let's get this mixed up. Remember to scrape the bowl down frequently to make sure everything's well blended. It's optional to add nuts. We happen to love nuts, and in this recipe I loved walnuts. I'm adding 1/2 cup of chopped walnuts. Gently stir them in. And then another option, but we love it, add 1/2 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips or dark chocolate chips, whatever you would like. You could even add peanut butter chips if you want, and have banana peanut butter bread, but we like the semi-sweet. Add 1/2 cup of chips. Just blend everything gently. And we're just using a standard size bread pan, but we have to prepare it properly, meaning we have to grease the pan. We can use the butter wrapper, that works great. Just make sure you get it in every corner. You need this greased really well so that the bread will release when it's done baking. Or you can use non-stick spray, but spray it well. Let's pour the banana bread mix into the bread pan, making sure we get every bit of it into that pan. We don't want to leave anything behind. Give it just a little jiggle to make sure it's level. And here's an option. If you want to make mini bread, you can pick these up anywhere, probably even at the dollar store. I believe, it's been a while since I've done it, but I believe that I got anywhere from 3, maybe 4 small bread loaves out of a batch. I would have at least 4 pans on hand, but you may only want to grease 3 of them to try that first. And when you fill them, you want to leave about, about a 1/2 inch at least from the top of the pan, because they will rise and you don't want it to overflow. So allow a little bit of room if you use the small pans. Into the oven it goes at 350 degrees. You know, every oven varies. I'm saying between 50 to 60 minutes, but you know, you can check it anywhere between 45 and 50 minutes. You can take a cake tester and check it. And if it starts to get too brown, which it probably will, just take some foil and cover the top. Kind of create a dome over the top. You don't want the foil to touch the bread. So kind of, you know, puff it up or dome it up, and just twist the ends a little bit to hold it on. And especially if you have a convection oven that likes to blow the foil off, but try not to touch the top of the bread. I'm testing it here with a cake tester. You can also use a butter knife if you like. And if it comes out clean, it is done. Pull it from the oven. While the bread is still warm, I take a knife, just a butter knife, nothing serrated, and I'm going to loosen all of the edges of the bread. And you may have to go around twice, but we're still going to let the bread cool for about 30 minutes before we take it out of the pan. Now, taking the bread out of the pan can be challenging. Make sure you have a plate or a platter or a cutting mat or something on your surface, your tabletop surface, and just flip that bread pan over, and you're going to have to give it a shake, but not too hard, but just enough and just long enough to make sure it loosens up and falls out. Do not let it drop. You want it to fall into your hands. You went to all this work. You don't want it to break in half at this point. As you can see, a little bit of the bread stuck in the bottom of my bread pan. No worries. I'm just going to take a knife, scrape it up, and put it back on, pat it on. Nobody's ever going to know the difference. Don't tell anybody. They'll never know. It's got a nice golden crust on it. I can't wait to give it a taste. Doesn't it look yummy? And I like thick slices. Can you tell? Look at that. The chocolate chips are melted. You can see the walnuts. Oh my gosh. It is so good warm. You can eat it cold, and I do store it in the fridge, but we like to microwave it for, 20 to 30 seconds with some butter on it. It is so good warm. I can't wait to take a bite. But here's what the rest of the loaf looks like. I think it's just beautiful. And as I've said, I've shared this recipe with so many people and they've loved it, but we still have to give this a taste. I like a little bit of butter. Okay, fine. I like a lot of butter. My banana bread is done. Let me give it a taste and see how it turned out. I did add some butter, although I have to confess I've already been nibbling on it. I couldn't resist. Love the crunchy texture of the ends. Moist. Great texture. I know it's hard to talk with your mouth full. I love the addition of the chocolate chips and walnuts. That's optional. You don't have to do it, but it's good. It's a thumbs up in my recipe book. I hope you'll give my sour cream banana bread recipe a try. It's really good. As I said, I get really good reviews on it from people. I like to put it in smaller pans and gift it. It's easy to make. It takes just a few ingredients. Most of them you have on hand. Just have to maybe pick up some sour cream. So I appreciate a thumbs up. Hope you like, subscribe, and ring that bell to receive notifications on future videos. And as always, thanks for watching. I'm Vicki with Thrifty Recipes. I'll see you soon. To store it, I like to use a layer of parchment paper and foil and wrap it up. Whether it's going in the fridge or the freezer, I use 2 layers to wrap it and keep it fresh. And into the fridge it goes. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll subscribe, ring that bell to receive notifications, and leave a comment below.